like, people don't care about that stuff, you know what I'm saying? People want to see someone get laid out, knocked out quickly.
We are here at Loughborough University, and I'm going to say with a future world champ, because he is in my eyes, Sky Sports boxer, model, ex-rapper, anything is possible. Richard Riakporhe, how are you?
I like the way you use the Adidas tagline there, anything is possible. Impossible is nothing.
Impossible is nothing. Yeah. They need to I know they sponsor you, but they really need to sponsor me.
Yeah, you never know, man. Trust me, just keep on doing your thing.
Hard work
representing
pays.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back in camp, we're very happy to hear that you are on the card that we've got coming up in a couple of weeks. January the 21st, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Beefy Smith. When did you find out you was on that card? Because I was kind of like mooching around you before, but you weren't saying nothing.
I found out last year. Yeah, last year. We were just trying to finalize it. I couldn't really talk about it. But yeah, you know, we had a conversation, me and Ben, and, you know, just discussion, what do you want to do? Do you want to go on this show? Do you want to do your own show? Well, you know, I think maybe that'd be good, you know, to be a part of the first ever, you know, Skybox Skybox office show underneath the new promoters. So I think it's a piece of history as well, and I always want to be a part of that.
We talk about being a piece of history, and something that you kind of like touched on there. It's not just about your ego, you being the headline, you being the main guy. You're sort of like, hold on a minute, there's a bigger picture here. It's the, you know, pay-per-view show. There's going to be a lot of eyes on it anyway. And those eyes, in turn, albeit you said it's not about you, they will turn to you. It's more advertisement and more promotion for yourself as well.
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. This is what I want to do in the future. I want to headline my own pay-per-view shows. So it only makes sense that I start to build on the model as well from now.
We talk about building on that model, and we've seen you train very hard in the gym today. I understand it was technical work. What is it like being trained under Angel? Because we've often spoke about your style, but what is it like being trained by him? And the reason why I ask that is because he gets a lot of stick in the media, and because of obviously him working with AJ, etc. There's a lot of focus on him, but what people don't realise is that he's actually trained and brought you on. So over to you, your words.
Yeah, I think he's amazing. He's very meticulous to detail. You know, pays attention, and that's what I need for me to develop. I feel like I'm a type of special needs type of fighter. You know, even though I have the power, you know, I have some talent, but I need that extra effort with me. And that's how I've seen results obviously in my career so far, and he's perfect for that. You know, I'm not one of those fighters you can just shadow box or, you know, jump on the bags and do your own thing. I feel like I'll just develop so many bad habits, and Angel minimizes all of that for me, which has made me perfect, made me even more confident as a fighter, confident in my defense, coming forward, doing what I need to do, throwing shots, trading. You know, I just know I know what to do and how to stay safe. You know, and, you know, take at least the least amount of damage possible. So,
when you talk about bad habits, what do you think those bad habits were that you started to, you know, when you look back on reflection now, because you can, what were those bad habits?
I think the bad habits it could, like, footwork, little things like foundation and stuff like that. Maybe, you know, being a bit too tall, you know, not being on the ball of your feet and stuff, like crossing your legs, you know, little things which the average person wouldn't even notice, but these would stop you from, you know, landing a decent shot, and it stop you from fundamentally being sound when you throw your punch. So you'll basically be thrown a punch that's not correct, which will probably leave you vulnerable, whether it's, you know, having to block a counter shot, or not being able to step back, you know, after you throw a shot. So it's just little things, and we built from the ground up. I had to kind of he had to break me down and build me back up, kind of thing.
How
And
is that then? Because you're an experienced fighter. You didn't go to him, say, when you just had 2 or 3 fights. You were a few fights down before you went to Angel. So how is that for a fighter then to, like you said, he had to break you down and build you back up? Because they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, yeah?
Mhm.
So how did you, let him, basically make you vulnerable to build you back up again?
Yeah, just I'm one of those people. I love to learn, and I'm humble. I don't have no ego when it comes to that. If you tell me this is right, I'll literally listen to you, try it out, and if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, then I'm just not gonna do it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't work for me. It might not be wrong, theoretically speaking, but just remember with boxing, it all depends on the boxer himself and his genetic capabilities, his size. It's not all the same for every single fighter. Everybody's different. You can see by my body shape, I'm very explosive. I got a lot of muscle in my body. Very powerful. You can see by my posterior chain. Whereas you have Frazier. Frazier's a bit more thick. He's got a lot of meat on him. He can use his size. He throws more. Like combinations and stuff like that because of his size and because of his speed. So it's different. You just have to work with different people. But Angel understands that, so he would tailor our sessions differently depending on who's training with him, which is good. I think not a lot of coaches do that. You would see with some coaches in the UK, they would probably use the same type of techniques, just throughout all of the boxes from welterweight to heavyweight if they have, and it's a bit. Sometimes you could just see it's forced. It's not natural, and it doesn't look too pleasant on the eye. Yeah.
I totally agree. With boxing, it's not one size that fits all.
No.
The culture's got to be able to have that mentality to look at what you've got and then work with those attributes.
Yeah.
When you talk about your improvements, and one of the things that I will say is I didn't realise this, but your feet are quite quick. You're able to, the balance, like I said, I'll run the video that I've got over this anyway, but the centre of balance that you've got is really good. But I didn't realise how quick your feet are. I saw you spin off, with the technical sparring that you was doing with young Kieran, making him miss a few shots. Building up that footwork and adapting to that and making sure that balance is correct. How long does that take you to relearn? Because footwork is not something I would have attributed to you. I would have said power. If I think Richard Riakporhe, I'm saying power.
I think I'm naturally athletic as well, so that helps. I'm fast. I could have done track and field. I could have done a lot of different sports. I didn't. It's not just boxing. I could have done anything, to be honest, like NFL, baseball, anything. But so I think it was just my agility. It's a blessing. But where Angel came in, he helped me with the foundation and the base. So it's all good, being able to move fast enough. But if you don't have the foundation and the base, then you can't get off the shot, correctly, or the right shot. So that's why he's helped me out a little bit there. So now I just do what I can do naturally. So everything is all intertwined.
And the speed does go through to your hands as well. You're a very compact, tidy fighter. You're not messy. You don't throw unnecessary shots. You don't throw shots for the sake of throwing them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just me analysing how I've seen you box and how I've seen the improvements. Somebody that's able to literally, you are like a one for a better word, just don't blink.
Yeah. I think I am those type of fighters, isn't it? Like if you take your eyes off me for a period of time, it's just the fight's over. It's like, what happened? Just what happened? I think that's what makes me a draw. A bit more exciting. So now people would watch the fights from the beginning and really try their best not to take their eyes off.
How do you see how important that is in boxing? Because we spoke about it before. Like the more casual eye wants to see those highlight reel knockouts. You're almost like a celeb. The boxing's sort of like the celebrity business. No disrespect to like WWE, but it's kind of like those dramatic kind of endings that we want to see to fights. So does that divert your focus in trying to say, okay, I know I can stop people, I know I can hurt them, but then do you kind of like say, I want that kind of like exciting knockout where everyone's all their eyes on me, kind of like that pressure from the audience?
Yeah, I like that. I like to deliver those type of knockouts. That's what, that's what the fans come to watch, honestly. You do have that certain percentage of boxing fans, and they're very technical. They go down to every single little deal. He moved 2 inches to the left and stepped back. It was defensively responsible, and that like people don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? People want to see someone get laid out, knocked out quickly. You know what I'm saying? People don't have time to be doing this analysis and
the mathematics of it.
Yeah. Obviously us fighters, we understand, and it's good. The coaches understand, but the reality is they want to see someone get demolished, and that's how they keep them coming back. And I'm thankful that I have the blessing of power, where I'm more intelligent with what I do, more calculated, and I'm delivering, what I'm able to do, which is great.
The boxing brain, then, you talk about developing that, something that is done like through experience or study. How do you develop that boxing brain to be able to react better or kind of like figure out your opponent? Because I know you, obviously Angel studied your opponent. He had a fight, I think, can't remember, I think it was in lockdown when he fought Lawrence Okoli. But building that boxing brain, because maybe he's improved. I'm not saying he has, I'm not saying he hasn't, but he may come out and not deliver the style that is expected. So then Richard Riakporhe's brain's got to kick in.
Yeah.
What lessons and how have you learned how to develop that boxing brain to be able to anticipate what a fighter's going to do? Without giving away tactics, of course.
Yeah, I think it's come from experience. Just being in the ring, you're boxing a certain opponent, and they just something that you practice in camp just is not working. 1 round goes, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, you're like, it's not working. And then it's up to you to, not get frustrated and to adapt to the situation. And that's what makes the best fighter. A fighter that's able to adapt to any situation is the best. And I've learned through many times. I remember, I come to the gym, I don't know what's going on. Angel said, yep, you got this sparring, you got this much rounds, you got an orthodox fight, you got a southpaw now, you got 1 in 1 out. I don't know. But, I feel like when you don't know, it's better, because you don't anticipate what you have to do, and it can be a shock to the system. But when you have that type of mindset, like, I can deal with whatever, I'm a champion in my mind. So, it is what it is. Jump in, let's go. And that's the mentality that I keep. So who cares if they come out one way or switch stances and stuff? I'm blasting them out. That's the mentality. As soon as that bell goes.
That is music to my ears, and I kind of like that. All right, then, Aggie kind of energy that you're coming with. Yeah, I like that, because you were at ringside. I saw you in Bournemouth, but to be fair, I couldn't hear the commentary, so I saw obviously the comms afterwards when Chris Billum-Smith fought his opponent, and he got a good knockout. I thought he started slow, which is risky. But I saw when Anna said, Richard, what do you think about that? And you were straight away.
What would have happened, do you think, if you'd have been there with him?
KO.
When?
KO.
How early?
Within 3.
She didn't even get to finish the sentence. You were like, KO. The confidence is almost like, how dare you even ask me that?
How dare they even think about stepping in the ring with me? How dare they? Unbelievable.
What do you see Chris Billum as then? Because it's a fight that, even you've done it already. Yeah, you've won already. However, you kind of sort of meeting again on this trajectory. What are your thoughts on that fight? I know you said you get him out there in round 3, but do you think he's developed as a fighter over the years? Yeah,
he has come along for sure. That's why he's getting the results. Yeah, I have to admit. but at the same time, there's different speeds of development. You know, just because one person is developing, you have to bear in mind other people might be developing at a faster pace, and their level is higher, even though you're developing as well. So that's what it pretty much comes down to: who's developing the furthest, fastest, and you know, how do you see how do you see it going? You know, what would be the result? So, you know, everything is theoretical, but you know, we believe in, you know, what we do up here. So we know what we will bring to the table. We understand the threats as well that our opponents will cause. But, you know, the aim is just to minimize that and deliver what we need to do.
I want to talk about kind of like your confidence, something that you have as a fighter, and that's something that every fighter should have. But I will say that fighters may show that confidence outwardly, but they haven't got it. You quite confidently said you will stop him in 3, and you know, when we say you say it with your chest, you was like totally, almost like you'd seen it happen. Having that confidence, then, where's that come from?
I guess that's come from obviously my fights. You know, me having my matches, my experience so far, understanding who I am as a person, who I am as a fighter. You know, what I'm capable of, what I can deliver. So it's just a mixture of everything, and just, you know, boxing IQ, understanding, you know, what works, what doesn't work. You know, being around like Frazier, for example. Frazier will give me his honest opinion. He doesn't say things to make you feel good. He'll tell you what it is. But he's, you know, like with someone like me, he can say that to me. I'm cool. I'm so cool. You can be really, you know, honest and open. I don't take things to heart. I just think, okay, I need to get back to work. That's the way I take it. So, and we have the conversation. We understand the threats, and we understand, you know, the results to an extent. And if you know Frazier, his predictions are on point. It's not even a round off. That's the truth. So, you know, we know what's going on.
Having those people around you, then, like you said, you're someone that can take the criticism, constructive feedback, whatever you want to put on it. Or somebody said, you know, oh, I didn't like that. That was shit. What separates you from the fighters that are unable to take that criticism? Because like I said, we kind of like touched on it. The further you progress and you do well, you kind of like get in this hard to reach category. And when you get in that hard to reach category, often you'll surround yourself with people that will tell you what you want to hear. So how important is that to make sure that you stay grounded and you have, you know, colleagues around you, friends around you, like Fraser, that will say, yo, you know, fix up. How important is that to stay grounded as you push through those professional ranks?
I think that's very important, and that's got to do a lot with it. It's a lot to do with the fighter. It's the fighter that has the power to select who he's going to bring around him and who's going to keep around him. He can have yes men, or he can have people that are honest and they'll tell the truth, and they don't care about offending you.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.